chest. They always said.
I might name my first kid Conan.
She doesn't drop hints lightly. He doesn't joke about legacy without meaning. Over months, through gestures, whispers, podcast banter, and family nudges, the clues have accumulated, pointing toward a future with little ones. And when two public figures of this stature start weaving their lives together in that way, what seems like flirtation becomes blueprint. Let's walk through every breadcrumb, every glance, every hidden signal that suggests Taylor and Travis might already be laying the groundwork for babies. First, the way he speaks. On New Heights, Travis has dropped comments that send hearts racing. He joked about baby names. In one episode, he teased he might name his first kid Conan after Conan the Barbarian. That's a half-in, half-joke expression, the kind of offhand name drop that anchors itself in fans' imaginations.
Chest. They always said.
I might name my first kid Conan.
In other episodes, in a conversation about lab-grown diamonds, he quipped, "Can't wait till I fucking make one." The line between making a diamond and making a baby was blurred on purpose, and his brother Jason intervened fast. Don't give conspiracy theorists anything else to latch onto.
Lab-grown diamonds, that's lab-grown
Diamonds?
NBA player.
I mean, listen, it's not far off, let's be honest.
Can't wait till I fucking make one.
Don't do this. Do not give any of these other conspiracy theorists anything else to latch onto.
That defensive interruption only fueled speculation. It's classic planting with plausible deniability. Then there's the family pressure. Their insiders and loved ones have started nudging. His mother, Donna Kelce, who already revels in her other grandchildren, has responded to social media comments implying Travis would be a wonderful father with a simple heart reaction. That's subtle. It's not an announcement, but it's a spotlight. Meanwhile, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, guesting on New Heights, teased they were putting that voodoo on you and Taylor right now to have babies.
We're putting that voodoo onto you and Taylor right now.
Jason Kelce chimed in about how fatherhood realigns priorities the moment the first one pops out. All of this is stirring public expectation, but public expectation often shadows real intention.
The first one pops out. It's like, okay, my entire hierarchy of priorities is completely shifted.
Just like that.
In an instant. Seriously, it's crazy. You'll see, Trev.
What about how Taylor behaves? Her lyrics, her stage moments, there are her poetic domain, and she rarely allows them to be random. Insiders say she and Travis have talked about having cute babies. Some rumored that they would love twins right out of the gate, a boy and a girl, though they're not picky. That may be tabloid exaggeration, but it's anchored in patterns. A lot of her art cycles contain visions of legacy, lineage, generational dreams. And now sources say that post-engagement, Taylor and Travis won't wait too long to start a family. So even as they level their public brands high, insiders claim they are seriously discussing timeline. Look at how their bodies align in public. In podcast moments, Taylor and Travis's mics are placed so they could sit apart, but they overlap. Their bodies lean into each other.
I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Right now, we're very deep in a sourdough obsession that has taken over my life.
I am aware.
Yeah.
Patty Wood points out that overlapping in a joint interview setting signals unity merging, couples choosing to be seen as a cohesive unit. And in New Heights, Travis hugged Taylor from behind, kissed the top of her head, gestures that are often interpreted as protective and comforting. In couple dynamics, those are also gestures typical of deep intimacy and long-term emotional bonding. Some even say that the way he rocked her gently in certain emotional moments is akin to a gesture couples use to soothe, reminiscent of how partners might calm an overwhelmed other. That kind of closeness, in a medium built for conversation, suggests deeper roots. Also, their body language offstage is telling. In pictures, Travis often places himself slightly behind Taylor, a protective stance rather than a dominating one. In one photo during a stadium event, Taylor clung to Travis. She knew he could hold her up. That's trust and certainty. Some interpret this as her believing in his stability, as though she feels safe in his arms. In those shared embraces, the world falls away. They create an enclosed space. That kind of space is fertile ground for long-term plans for children. There was also a maneuver in public posture. Overlapping shoulders, torso angle shifting in sync, hips barely brushing as they walk side by side, not screaming PDA, but telling. Judy James, during a New York date, observed Travis's hand encasing Taylor's in a clasp of macho protection. In those moments, one senses he's not just walking with her, he's walking with intention, as if protecting a shared future. Let's not miss what they haven't denied. When asked in interviews about children or proposals, Travis sometimes sidesteps. In one press conference, a reporter pressed him about whether he'd propose. Body language expert Tracy Brown flagged his response as a planned avoidance, repeating words, feigned confusion, then shutting down the line. The silence, the diversion, the non-answer, they leave the door open. That non-closure keeps speculation alive. Combine that with his playful, sometimes cryptic podcast comments, and you see a pattern. Tease, nod, let rumors swirl, but don't commit publicly. And that might be because some parts of this are not ready for mass consumption, but are certainly being built behind closed doors. And on top of that, insider sources claim that since their engagement, they are in a good place personally and professionally. That balance is making it the right time to begin thinking about children. Another inside source told Elle that they won't wait too long to start a family. That suggests not just a desire, but a plan in motion. Then there's their external influences. Ex-NFL stars are publicly cheering them on. Julian Edelman saying that would be a great kid. Rob Gronkowski speculating their child would dominate both catching and halftime shows. In other words, even their peer circle is scripting their future. That external chorus doesn't force the outcome, but it influences the narrative. One more crumb: Travis's subtle reactions to baby rumors. In recent media coverage, he's acknowledged that children are on the radar. He's not rejecting the idea. Instead, he laughs, deflects, but doesn't shut it down. That's different from denying. He lets speculation breathe. Now, imagine the private nights. Conversations between them, collaborations of dreams, calendars being aligned, doctor and lifestyle decisions being weighed behind closed doors. The visible clues are consistent: intentional comments, body language that matches long-term attachment, supportive family nudges, public silence that avoids closing the loop. If someone were to build a video around this, they'd start with the podcast sneak peeks, the crack jokes about making one, the moments when their laughter spills into tenderness. Then they'd segue into public appearances, overlapping bodies, protective positions, mutual styling, shared aesthetic cues. Then they'd fold in quotes from expert analysis, how overlapping in interviews means unity, how protective postures mean intention, how avoidance in interviews means leaving options open. Then into rumor and insider claims, that they've talked about babies, that they won't wait too long, that their families are nudging, that ex-NFL friends are cheering them on. Finally, they'd close by weaving a vision, what their next chapter might look like: little rooms, lullabies, legacy. The audience will lean in, torn between skepticism and hope. Because for fans, especially Swifties, the idea that Taylor might step into motherhood with Travis Kelce is not just romantic speculation, it's destiny. And when two people start moving toward life not just as lovers but as mothers and fathers, the clues don't hide, they whisper. If the viewers watch closely, they'll see it. In every glance, every half-joke, every protective wrap of an arm, every dodge of a question, every family heart emoji. These aren't random. They're signals in a language built over time. And all the signs point to something big. They're not just planning life together. They may already be planning the next generation. In a recent episode of New Heights, things got uncomfortably real and deliciously juicy when Jason Kelce and guest Dwayne Johnson pressed the subject of children. The way they danced around it, nudged Travis, teased him, it all felt less like chatter and more like a playbook being laid out. The Rock, with his booming voice and fatherhood gravitas, leaned in. Having spoken about how his life changed after becoming a dad, he turned to Travis and said, "My babies. Babies are everything. That's it."
My babies, just like, you, Jason, and like one day you'll know Trav, babies are everything. That's it.
It is.
He paused, smiled, and added, "We're putting that voodoo onto you and Taylor right now." Jason, never one to shy away from commentary, backed it up. The moment the first one pops out, my entire hierarchy of priorities is completely shifted. It wasn't just affectionate banter, it was manifesting, planting intention, framing Travis and Taylor's future in front of listeners. That moment with The Rock is a public nudge. It signals more than desire from an external voice. It shows that people close to Travis are comfortable speaking about this possibility out loud. If he were uneasy or opposed, they would tread more carefully. But they're speaking boldly, loudly, playfully. That's pressure. That's planting seeds in a field they intend to grow. Jason's involvement is more telling than most outsiders realize. He's not just a commentator, he's family. If Jason is publicly pushing this narrative, it means it likely reflects private conversations too. On a different New Heights episode, when talk turned to who is Mom's favorite, Travis attempted to shift the narrative. Listen, right now, Mom has Jason number one because he has kids.
Mom's always had Travis number one. I do know.
Listen, and right now, Mom has Jason number one because he has kids.
That is true. She has said that. She has made that comment. She's put some pressure on him.
Jason didn't deny it. He said that is true. She has said that. She has made that comment. She has put some pressure on him. The pressure, thus, isn't just speculation. It's been acknowledged by insiders. Jason also framed Donna's behavior in a light that suggests urgency. In interviews and discussions, he's implied that this pressure is not subtle. He's revealed that Donna has, in her own way, indicated she expects grandchildren. The Kelce matriarch has hinted, publicly and privately, that her affection shifts towards the sons who bring her the legacy she craves. In prior podcast episodes, Donna had been asked if Travis was still her favorite. She joked, "Not yet," implying grandchildren might tip the scales. This public teasing from Donna, though delivered with a laugh or half-smile, is psychologically potent. Mothers do this kind of pressure in many families, not just for affirmation, but to ensure their legacy continues. Jason's choice to broadcast that dynamic adds legitimacy to the idea that Taylor and Travis are already being nudged to accelerate family planning. What makes it stronger is that Travis hasn't forcefully rejected these implications. When Deion Sanders asked, "What are you waiting on, Dad? So what are you waiting on?" Travis laughed, dodged, didn't snap back. That lack of denial is meaningful. If he were completely uninterested, he would deflect more firmly. Instead, he chuckles, shifts, let the comment linger. Combine all that with past remarks. Travis once joked on New Heights that he needed to start breeding so his mother would love him again. He talked about finding a breeder. That was partly humor, partly a raw admission of insecurity made public. Donna, in those past conversations, cautioned him, "Wait until you find the right person." But as things have progressed, engagement, deeper connection, she seems comfortable letting that right person be Taylor and letting the pressure escalate. So, the Kelce clan is scripting this baby narrative. Jason is the voice inside the house, Donna is the conductor of legacy pressure, The Rock is the external amplifier, and Travis, far from shutting it down, is letting it echo. Taylor's presence as the potential mother in this story is no coincidence. She's become the anchor for their future narrative. And when friends, family, and legends begin manifesting your future live on a podcast, those aren't whispers anymore, they're clues.